Alright, so welcome back. Got a little something different today. I decided we're going to take a little bit of a break on that Ford 4400. Getting a little frustrated with it. Haven't really gotten any progress on it. Nothing like I was hoping for. So we're just going to move on to something else until I kind of get a better idea of what I want to do there. But to digress, so we got something else. So let me kind of bring you in over here so you can take a look. So this is what we're going to be working on. This is a Poulan Micro XXV, as you can read right yonder. So this is a two-stroke tiny little chainsaw. I mean, this thing, surprisingly for how small it is, it's got a little weight to it. You know, this is a buddy of mine. I do not own this one. He was like, hey man, I kind of want to play with this thing. So if you've got a minute and you want to take a look at it, by all means. So yeah, we're going to check to see if it's got spark in it. And then, yeah, because right there's my spark plug. My gas and oil mix. I was looking for the, surely this thing's got bar oil somewhere, right? Oh, right there. Okay. So I'm not too worried about checking the bar oil fluid. Boy, how fucking rusty that bar is. Oh, well, okay. Clutch isn't locked up, per se. He said he hasn't used this thing at all. Or at least if he did, it was years ago. So we're gonna take a look into it, see what we can figure out. Before we get into trying to rip this apart and just mess something up, we're going to check the spark plug, make sure we got spark. Oh, I already see something right off the rip. Interesting. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but let's see here. You see that little guy right there? That's a hose barb. And it's hard to tell, but down in there is a there's a piece of hose. So there's gas line right there. There's a gas line right there that's probably just dry rotted in half. So if this thing, I mean, even if this thing wanted to start, it sure wasn't going to. So, all right, well, we know that's going to be an issue, so we'll get into that. But I guess, yeah, now that we know that's an issue, let's get into that spark plug. See what all it's going to take to... Oh, we're missing a bolt right there, too. Wow. Sure looks like this thing was never abused. It was always used for its intended purpose. Plus, I hear something rattling. So, we'll look into that. Alright, so... You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this cover off. Go ahead and pop that off and just make this easy on everybody. Specifically me. It's going to be a lot easier on me. Know what that is rattling around. What's loose in here? That's in the fuel tank. Yeah, maybe now you can kind of get a better view. Yeah, you see that? That little brown? that. Yeah, right there it is. That's the, oh gosh, I mean this thing is rock hard, so yeah. See the fuel line? I can't really. Oh wow, even that air filter is just crumbling apart. Goodness gracious. I mean, look look at this air filter, like it's just, that's yummy. That's what you want. Alright, so yeah, like I was trying to show you before the air filter, right there is my fuel line. Alright, it's supposed to be, oh, okay. And it's supposed to come in right there, that little hole. So I believe, yeah. So there's a spot in the tank here and it comes up, plumbs into this little hose barb that goes through the handle, out, and right in the carb. I'm just going to go out on a limb and just assume that this thing probably hasn't been ran in like 15, 20 years. We'll give it some credit. We'll say 15. Even still, goodness gracious, this is rough. Okay, pretty cool little choke design. Just flip it right out of there. I mean, the carburetor doesn't look in bad shape. Like, it's pretty clean. I don't think we'll have much of an issue with the carburetor, honestly. I didn't even check to see if this thing wasn't stuck. Okay, well, that's a good sign. So it's not stuck. That's a good start. Alright, well, let's see if we can't take the recoil off. Take this recoil off and see if we can't mess up here. So yeah, that's gonna have to come out. So that's probably what, 5/30 seconds maybe? Nah, probably 3/16. In the event you're wondering, yes, I do have power tools. But I also have hand tools. And I like using hand tools. Would it go faster with power tools? Yeah, maybe. But there's just something about just taking something apart with just your own hands. No electricity, no pneumatic, no hydraulic, no nothing. It's just you and your physical ability to break stuff loose. I enjoy it. And I'm sure you guys probably understand, you know how it is. You do something with your own hands and you feel accomplished. You're like, oh yeah, I did that. That was me. Ah, boy, that thing is stuck. There we go. thinking about it. There we go. I wasn't stuck at all. All right, there's recoil off. I'll probably go ahead and, there's a spring on the underneath side of this. I'll probably go ahead and get a little penetrating oil, lubricating oil, and just get down in there. Lube that spring up a little bit so it's a little smoother. But this fuel tank, I want to look at this fuel tank. I want to know what that is. What's in there? What's it doing? What's going on in there? There we go. There's that. I know what that is. I forgot. It's a fuel filter on top of more hose, which is still pretty brittle. But hey, that fuel filter though, this thing looks brand used. I'll probably reuse that. I don't think you guys be able. Yeah, that. Look at that. I may get a new one. Haven't decided yet. I guess I could check to make sure this thing's got spark. I did not do that. Not yet. That doesn't smell stale or nasty at all. Okay, well, there appears to be some form of oil in the cylinder, or what would we call a jug. So I would assume that at one point in time this thing did run, but let's check to see if we ain't got some spark on this bad thing. See a little mamba jamba. Ah, yeah. Let's get you in on this so you can see that. Alright, let me just real quick. Alright, get you a good view on that spark plug. Oh, yeah. Alright, so this thing's got spark. So, we need to make a list of things we're going to need. So in reality, the only thing I genuinely think we're going to need is fuel line. We run that gas line through here down into the carb, which reminds me I'm going to have to split this handle to be able to access. Let's take a quick look at that real quick. Look at all that in there. That's all fuel line. Same thing up here, all fuel line. Goodness gracious. Okay. So fuel line is a must. I really don't even think I'm going to mess with that carburetor. I think I'm just going to get some fuel line in this. Get some fuel. Just see what happens. And then obviously we're going to need to get an air filter because that that air filter that was right there that just crumbled apart. Yeah, that's no good. So, all right, well, can I pull that out? I would imagine Oh, yep, it pulls out. All right, cool. I'll tell you what, let me look for some fuel line. I might have some. Well, that didn't take much, huh? Look at that. Hopefully this is a proper diameter. All right, so like I said, we lucked out. I have a little bit of fuel line from the last time I worked on, I had an old Homelight XL chainsaw, one of my favorite chainsaws. That thing was a monster. But, like I said, got a little bit left over from that one. So, let's put this together and see if it doesn't do the thing. So I don't really know why I had that little barb right there, and that sat right here in this hole. Can't take you in on that, huh? That barb literally just sat right there. I don't think we really need this, to be quite honest. Because, I mean, this hose, or this fuel line is just going to go straight down in there and plumb into the tank. I don't think we need it. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of resources. We ain't doing it. There's one thing I've learned: if it makes sense, don't do it. At least that's what me and the boys say at work. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the recoil back on here. Now, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to do that. What I will do is I'll put this back on. I'll put this back on. Then I'll hook the... I'll just kind of plumb everything together, and we'll see if we can't get this thing to suck some fuel. I don't know if this fuel tank's even going to hold fuel, to be quite honest. I'm going to take this to the air one real quick. Check this out. Look at this thing. Got a good eye on this? Oh, look at this. That is literally nothing but slime. Well, I mean, it's oil. It's two-stroke. But goodness gracious, tell me that ain't freaking nasty. I don't think I'm going to reuse that, honestly. I thought I did have a fuel filter laying around from when I did the my Homelight. Ask me if I know where it's at. Well, Joel, if you would clean your shop, you'd know where stuff is. Well, maybe. Probably not. I'm just going to give this thing a little bump of jitter juice and see if it won't do something. Okay. I mean, this thing was sparking. me check this plug one last time. Maybe I did something wrong here. Okay, well, it's got spark. Just hit. Just hit once. That's all I want. I'm not asking you to go cut down trees for the next 4 hours. I'm just bump. Just take a little bump. I'm gonna go look for that fuel filter because I know it's got to be around here somewhere. All right, so I could not find the new filter. So what I did was I just took this, I hosed it down in a bunch of brake clean, and then I took an air wand and just blew it out. I mean, it cleaned up really well, and it's no longer gummy and oily and nasty like it was earlier, so I'm going to reuse this until I get a new one. Oh boy, I think we'll have just enough fuel line to do what we want. At least this way, this fuel line is kind of translucent. So you can kind of see where, you can see the fuel going through. So I'm going to put a little bit of fuel in this, and we're going to see what happens. Okay. Oh. This thing is not one to suck in fuel. I think my battery might have a leak in it. I'm hoping if I keep bumping it either, the vacuum will pull that fuel up there. Alright, made a little bit of a mess, but I got fuel up to the cart now. Hey, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That is what's up. New fuel line, clean her up a little bit. By gosh, she fired right to life. Of course, I had to make a mess priming the fuel line. But hey, here she is in all her glory. Boy, you can really smell that stale fuel too. That thing was running really good, even on stale fuel. Wow. Let's piece this back together. That's awesome. Certainly looks like this bar has gotten hot. It's hard to tell, but it's got some bluing on it, like this bar got hot. This chain is stiff all to heck, so we'll go ahead and slap it on there anyways. He's gonna have to buy a new chain, but yeah, it is what it is. Small price to pay, I reckon. What's really surprised me is the fact that, I mean, I didn't have to mess with that carburetor at all, and this thing sounded great. Like, I mean, heck, even my home light that I was running for so long, I mean, my home light, it sounded good, but like, I don't think it ran this good. This is awesome. I'm pretty ecstatic about this. I don't know about you guys. Well, like I said, this is not my saw. A buddy of mine hit me up, said, hey man, I got this saw. It's an older saw. I've never really ran it. Will you have an opportunity to look at it, see if you can't get it running? Now, obviously, before he goes running this thing out in the woods, he needs to get an air filter for it. I do not have one, so he's going to have to either get me the material so I can make one, or go online and see if you can't find a repop or something. Just for the giggles, let's see if this thing won't fire back up, huh? Yeah, man, I'm pretty happy about it. Don't know about you guys. I think once it gets warmed up and you run it for a little bit, kind of loosen up all the gunk and stuff that's sat over time, I think this thing will run like a champ. Maybe get some fresh fuel in it. God, this thing's a good little runner. Yeah, he's going to be pretty happy about this. That actually worked out really well. I'm very impressed on how easy it was to... I mean, let's just boil it down to they don't make them like they used to. I mean, I'm sure this saw, I don't know the exact manufacture date of this saw. or when they started coming out with the Micro XXV, but this saw is old. They don't make them like they used to. This thing, it's actually kind of simple to work on. I mean, gosh, even my home light wasn't this easy to work on. Like, this thing's pretty cool. I really like this. So hey, that's all I got for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you like seeing content like this, then follow along for more. All right, so I did a little bit of investigating on this Poulan Micro 25. It was manufactured in either 76 or 77. I believe 76. And then it was discontinued in 1982. So this saw was manufactured for only about 10 years. Not even. I mean, this is a good running little saw. You guys saw in the video. I really like this thing. This thing is really cool. So maybe I'll throw my buddy a couple bucks and maybe I'll buy it off. This thing's freaking sweet. So probably not. But anyways, all right. That's all I got.